Let's go back to the very start of the 20th century when Korea was in a tough spot. In 1910, Japan took over Korea, bringing a very strict rule that was hard for the Korean people. Living under Japanese control was not easy, and many families like Kim Il-sung's found themselves fighting back as best as they could. It was in this challenging time that Kim Il-sung was born, and his family held strong nationalist Christian beliefs.
This annexation had a huge impact not only on Kim's family but on the entire Korean population. The pressure was intense, and in fact, in 1920, Kim's family decided to move to Manchuria in China to find a bit more freedom. It was in this place that Kim Il-sung was exposed to many new ideas, especially from China's communist and nationalist movements. These new influences started shaping young Kim, giving him a different perspective and stirring something inside him that would lead to major changes.
After moving to Manchuria, Kim Il-sung found himself surrounded by new ideas. At just 17, he joined the South Manchurian Communist Union. He was excited to be part of a group that shared his dream for change. But soon things went wrong. Just 3 months later, the group was shut down, and Kim found himself in serious trouble. He was arrested and put in prison, a place where many of his dreams seemed to fade.
Prison wasn't easy, but it was also the start of something new for Kim. His days in prison were tough and only lasted a year, yet they taught him a lot about strength and survival. He came out different, with a new fire inside him. As soon as he got out, Kim was determined to fight back harder. He joined the fight against the Japanese, this time with a focus that would soon make him known as Il-sung, a name that means one who shines like the sun.
Looking back at the Poshinbo raid, it was quite a turning point for Kim Il-sung. At just 24 years, Kim led his guerrilla unit across the Korean border, aiming to strike significant Japanese positions. Imagine targeting a police station and setting it ablaze, creating a wave of hope among Koreans. This operation was not just about military success. It meant a lot more, showing that resistance was possible, and it lit a fire of hope in many hearts.
Indeed, the challenges were great, and soon, the Japanese increased their efforts to catch Kim. By 1940, conditions were really tough for his unit. They faced not just the enemy, but harsh winters and a shortage of food. This situation forced Kim to make a difficult choice to retreat into the Soviet Union. Seeking refuge, there wasn't just about hiding. It opened new doors, offering him the chance to gain an important ally, which would be crucial after World War II.
In the Soviet Union, Kim began to receive training, which further shaped his military abilities. He quickly moved up the ranks within the military camps, learning vital skills that would help him lead. When World War II ended, it was time for Kim to return to Korea. With Soviet support, his return marked the beginning of a new chapter, as he was set to play a significant role in shaping post-war Korea. His time in the Soviet Union was an important period that set the stage for his future endeavors.
Kim's rise in the Soviet military ranks wasn't just about gaining knowledge or support. It was about establishing important connections that would help him later. On returning to Korea in 1945, the backing of the Soviets was a game changer. It allowed him to focus on rebuilding Korea after Japanese colonial rule. The groundwork that had been laid in those Siberian camps was now ready to bear fruit, helping Kim Il-sung shape Korea's destiny in a new world era.
After World War II, Kim Il-sung returned to Korea with strong support from the Soviet Union. In 1946, the North Korean People's Committee was established with Kim as the head. This was a big step towards building a new society in North Korea. Kim started redistributing land, breaking it up from the wealthy and giving it to the farmers. This move aimed to reshape the economy and empower ordinary people, which was seen as a major change at that time.
With the foundation laid by the People's Committee, the next big step was the formation of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. On September 9, 1948, North Korea was officially established with Kim Il-sung at the helm as its president. It was a period of consolidation where Kim aimed to unite the separate communist parties into one powerful entity. In this process, Kim managed to silence opposition voices, especially those who disagreed with his vision, ensuring his control over the country.
The redistribution of land and nationalization efforts were not just economic changes, but were part of building a new identity for North Korea. These actions were key in transforming the livelihoods of many people. By taking control of industries, Kim aimed to have North Korea depend less on foreign powers and focus more on its self-sufficiency. It was a time for bold reforms, and these reforms laid the groundwork for North Korea's future development.
Kim's political strategy was also about strengthening his power with the creation of the Workers' Party of Korea. In doing this, he ensured that all voices, whether supportive or critical, were aligned under one leadership. The party consolidation was a move to streamline the political system and eliminate any opposing views. This was a crucial step in securing the kind of leadership and unity that Kim wanted for North Korea, setting the stage for his long-term plans for the nation.
Let's dive into the Korean War. When it began on June 25, 1950, North Korea launched an attack on South Korea. North Korea had success at first, capturing many areas in the south. However, things changed when the United Nations stepped in. The United Nations forces, led by the United States, quickly turned the tables. It was a tough period, with battles going back and forth, making the war very hard for both sides.
Yes, and during this time, China offered help to North Korea. With Chinese support, the war found a balance, leading to an armistice in July 1953. This armistice ended the fighting, but there was no clear winner. After the war, North Korea focused on rebuilding and became very military-driven. Kim Il-sung introduced the Juche ideology, which means self-reliance. This was about North Korea trying to be strong and independent by itself.
The post-war period also marked a time when Kim Il-sung began building a leadership cult around himself. The idea was to center all aspects of life around Kim, creating a strong sense of national pride and identity. This focus on Juche meant that North Korea became very closed off. It limited outside influences as they wanted to ensure that their path was uniquely their own, without copying others.
It's interesting how this idea of self-reliance became central to everything. During the 1950s and 1960s, Kim used Juche to strengthen his position and the country's unity. Emphasizing their own way was also a way for Kim to hold strict control over the country's social and political systems. This was about making sure that all people looked up to him as the guiding force, ensuring that his leadership remained unquestioned.
In the 1980s, North Korea started to become more isolated from the rest of the world. This was a time when many countries began to distance themselves from North Korea, and South Korea started to gain more respect internationally. During this period, North Korea tried to focus on its own development, but it wasn't easy due to the growing isolation. These challenges didn't stop Kim Il-sung from strengthening his leadership within the country.
Indeed, while North Korea faced these international issues, Kim Jong-il was rising in power within the Workers' Party of Korea. Kim Il-sung was preparing his son to take over eventually. This careful preparation made the transition of power look smooth. The people of North Korea were slowly being introduced to Kim Jong-il as their future leader, with his images becoming more public. The aim was to make sure that the leadership stayed within the family.
In 1994, Kim Il-sung passed away. His death marked a significant moment in North Korean history. Though he was no longer alive, his presence remained strong through the policies and systems he had put in place, and he was named the Eternal President. Kim Jong-il stepped up as the leader, carrying forward his father's legacy. However, he inherited a country facing many problems, including economic struggles caused by the end of support from the Soviet Union.
Kim Jong-il took on the challenge with the same focus on self-reliance and military strength. Yet North Korea's economy was struggling due to international isolation and internal issues. The challenges were significant, but the regime continued to emphasize the importance of its unique identity and governance style. The passing of leadership from Kim Il-sung to Kim Jong-il showed the establishment of a dynastic regime, a rarity on the world stage, and one that would shape North Korea's future in unique ways. Indeed, North Korea has transformed so much under his leadership. It's a story of change, challenges, and legacy. If you're interested in exploring more about the histories that shape our world, make sure to subscribe to our podcast. Don't forget to like and comment if you enjoyed our episodes. Your feedback helps us bring more historical insights every time. Thank you for joining us on this journey.